Welcome everybody to Cup with Gup, PGA deep dive and final thoughts for the Open Championship, the final major of the 2021-2022 season. It is a lot earlier on Wednesday than I wanted to do this, but I have a really busy day. I've had a really busy week in my quote unquote real life, real world job. Because I want to get as much info out to y'all that aren't premium members up to date. Now, obviously, I have all the final content out, and then Kenny, Kim, and I tonight will go live on E9 and look at the latest forecast, all that kind of stuff. But I will do my best to get you guys where I'm at right now, what I think in general. Even if you're not a member, wherever you follow, I definitely would, wait as long as you can to build and take everything in when it comes to the forecast and stuff like that. Don't imagine we'll see any withdrawals and everything, but it locks at 12:35 my time tonight or early Thursday morning, however you want to look at it. So, should be able to stay up, or if you got to go to bed, then make sure I'd probably set an alarm. I mean, it is worth it. I don't think would see anything, but you never know. Someone could wake up, bad back, bad this, Usti. I mean, there's a lot of guys here that have withdrawal potential. They just sleep wrong, they can't get loose or whatever. So I think it's important. I'll be up all the way up till lock. So certainly check out the Slack if you're a premium member channel. We'll have that taken care of. Try to keep this real short and brief, like I normally do on Wednesdays, but get as much info in as we can. British, I'll go ahead and get that out of the way. If you want to join us, you can jump in now. You'll have all day today, catch up on all the content. It's free, 7-day free trial. Use the code British, 30% off any package that sticks with you for life. As long as you're a member, you can upgrade at any time if you want to start small, weekly, and then go to monthly, or monthly, go to annual, however you want to do that. Come check us out this week. Got a lot of good content up there, and then you'll be able to access Kenny and I live tonight. Even if you can't catch it live, it does go onto the website, so you can watch it. Say you're putting your kids to bed or whatever, and you want to watch it at 10 o'clock tonight, a couple hours before, you can do that as a premium member. Rate and review us on iTunes. Always goes a long way. Got a winner. Winners at the end of the pod today. A couple of them from the iTunes ratings. Appreciate that, guys. Our next big drawing will be, probably NFL kickoff week 1 or college football week 1, something like that. But those rate and reviews stay with me. So if you put them in there, keep them coming. Subscribe and subscribe on YouTube and like this video. In the comment section, tell me who you think is going to win the Open. Those comments I'll keep all the way up until that NFL week 1 or whenever we do our next big. It'll probably be NFL week 1, honestly. So keep those rolling. You get into the drawings. I try to take some from both ways because it's free for y'all to get in. I do give away a lot of stuff in the GC Slack to the premium members as well as a little bonus to them. Guy got a $200 single entry ticket to tomorrow's Open through a little Slack giveaway I did. So good luck to him. I'll announce the winners at the end of the pod for these free giveaways. Per usual, Listener League is up, obviously, well over, I think it's probably about 75% full. 500 this week, 3 max, 1,000 the first. Link is in the description. Go ahead and get in that. Final thoughts for me. I think, right now it's early. We're going to see, I don't know, a lot, 17, 18 hours worth of updates today. I feel good about my process and player pool pending weather. I have a rather somewhat large territory, but all drivable, so it's nice. I don't have to fly a lot. Last 2 days, I spent a lot of time in the car, so I really like the Open app for the press conferences. If you have time, I'd say go in there and watch all of them. Most of them are 10 to 15 minutes. There's a couple that went longer than that. So anybody that had a presser, I'm not saying that's the end all be all, and it's kind of anecdotal, but it's good to hear all that kind of stuff. And when you're driving for hours upon hours, all over the place, it was good for me. I've listened to probably more pods than I ever do. I listen to as many as I can because it does dictate a little bit of ownership and stuff like that. But this week I had a lot of time, so I definitely feel good about that. It's all really, last thing will kind of come down to weather. For me, as of now, and again, it's early, I don't see a huge, nothing like we've seen before, even pockets yet. Probably if I had to say right now, I'd lean AM, or I say AM PM earlier. There's a couple pockets in there early. With you pair up there late, it's not a true draw. We talked about that Monday on the pod, but and earlier the better for like round 1, first round leader, stuff like that. Round 1 showdown, and first round leader. As of now, I haven't placed the first round leader bet. I am going to play round one showdown, but I will wait as long as possible to build and do all that kind of stuff. And again, I'll be up until lock, so we can cuss and discuss in Slack all the way up until then. If you're a premium member, if I make a massive change on something because of weather, I still will post to the sites. You don't. I know some people don't go to Slack and all that. We'll definitely update Slack, but I'll update either Gup's final thoughts, which is probably the best one to do because everybody looks at that last. If I have any massive swings, if someone was in my, say they're in my glorious nucleus, my core article, and I'm like, man, I don't like this weather anymore, I'm moving off, here's what I'm doing, I will update it on the site for sure. So you can always go there. But as of now, I mean, a little bit of a earlier better, but I'm not really, I don't see any massive, like, over a stroke type difference as we sit here. Super early Wednesday, but trending to be the highest owned. I do think this will be fairly close. I think Xander, Rory, Spieth probably come in 1, 2, 3 in some way. And then it's like a little bit of a gap. And I got like Fitz and Finau would be 4 and 5 for me right now. But there's guys right behind Finau and Fitz that could sneak up, could move up a couple, then move down and stuff like that. The bigger on ownership, I would say the two things that kind of stick out to me early as I ran models, this morning, early this morning, about 2 hours ago. I think we'll see potential two things. One, I mean, I've heard Xander could be 35%. I don't see that. Not this week, not in a major, not so much talent and so much variable type this kind of tournament. It's not just clean cut and all that. Now he is going out earlier, so if that becomes a hot topic throughout the day, that may boost it. I just think it's a major. We rarely see it, that guy. Now I know he's coming in and his pricing's a little off and all that, but I think you could see people. Now I'm not talking about the single entry stuff, high dollar, the 888, the 4444. Any of these guys that are going to be popular, Rory, those guys could push over 30%. I think Rory was like 38% at the PGA Championship. Now I had him, but I had a unique enough build that I still, was able to finish 7th in that with the 5 of 6. Now, what surprised me there is you saw an Alex Noren who was like 15, 16%, and like the Millie Maker stuff, the $20 one, $15 one, $5 deal, and he was like 36%, 35% or something in the 4444. So that kind of surprised me. I don't think we'll see anything crazy like that, but I think Xander could come in lower than what people think because so many people move off of him, and I also think Rahm could come in higher than what we'll see. And him and Scheffler could flip type of deal. They're some of the lower up there besides Morikawa. And I think you start getting people looking, and he was just as popular last week, and he's always pretty decently popular. And I can see people going, oh, if he's only going to be 9, 10, 11%, I'll just go Rahm, save the money and go Rahm. And I think he could get some boost today. And Scheffler could too. I just think Rahm has that longevity of popularity a little bit more. Outside of that, I think ownership, we'll go, I'll have all mine out. Everybody has theirs out, for the full field, but that's what I see being popular up there. Some sleepers or low owned guys that stick out to me. A lot of this is more that veteran, low owned grinder, that I think that could be important this week. Garcia, I see him around 3%, Kokrak 1 to 2%, Paul Casey 2%. The bad thing about the live guys this week, and I hate even saying live, I'm so tired of hearing about all that, but the significance of using the word live in this is that none of them got press conferences. So we have no idea how Casey's feeling, or what. You assume if he's here and he's already made the move and all that, but at 2%, maybe he's worth it, especially for his past history here at 7,500. KH Lee, 2%. Sink, 2 to 3%. Sink's one of those grinders. And that's if you're thinking it's going to be, I think they'll be scoring. I know the winds look kind of last night. You're watching the golf live and all that, closer to midnight. And, they were saying that it looks like the wind may come. I still think it's when you hear multiple guys, 50, 60-year-old guys, and the guys that have been playing for 20 years or guys that have lived over there almost their whole lives, I've never seen it as firm and fast, any course as firm as fast as this. I do think that short game and putting and the way, if the winds do die down, they'll probably, hide some pins and corner stuff like that guys will score. There'll be opportunities for sure. And you could get a runaway guy like we see with Usti before. But I still maintain, I think, and how I've kind of looked at because I do think it matters. I think if you're thinking top 20, you have to get to 14, 15 under. There are guys that I would downgrade in that type of environment. And on the flip side, if I think, hey, 8, 9 under could get you a top 20 and upside, maybe even 6 under, 7 under, there's guys I move up in that scenario. And I'll cover all that in the final thoughts and all that, and especially just not with Kenny. I think it's going to be more of the latter, that top 20 is probably, if you get to 7, 8, 9 under, you're probably in the top 20. And you'll have some guys in the teens, mid-teens that are there, kind of, gap, runaway type deal. But I think right now, as I see it, I think top 20 and upside is 6, 7, 8 under type of deal. Moving up for me, Matsu. I guess I worry a little bit about what we saw at the U.S. Open. So many guys that potentially were about to make the move, didn't make the move, didn't play well. But if I remember rightly, even Brooks, which I'll probably play him like my 150 max, I think he was, I'm going to see if I pull it up real quick. I know we want to keep this quick, but there was a point on the weekend, if I'm remembering the right, it wasn't the PGA Championship, I know that for sure, that he had made, maybe late Friday into Saturday, he had even made a decent move up the board. And then just kind of went back, he's just been rusty and all, just not sharp for 4 days and kind of just fell away. So he's 73-67 through Friday. And then on the weekend shoots 75-77 just for, 12 over. So he's even going into the weekend. And I think early Saturday kind of maybe even got to 1 or 2 under. And then just fell apart. And I remember even finished top 10 in the U.S. Open. So, I think Matsu could be that type of guy that can compete here. And I lean more towards where I'm talking about the scoring at 9,100, very low owned. He's kind of moved up the board for me. More of MME play. I don't know. I don't think he make my core. Same with Willie Z. I think a lot of people seem to be off of him. Just fade. Again, does he make my core? Not sure. But, I think someone that could control the driver. Now, he didn't last week and obviously let some people down, and myself included, with a missed cut. I just continue to think he's a gamer, that it's a major time. And, at the price, he's $300 cheaper than Alexander. I mean, you definitely want a top 20. You would more want him flirting with the top 10. He's there in that, maybe that 20 max pool he can make for me. Because I still do worry about, the putting to an extent. But he is a good lag putter. I mean, we've seen that before. He's just struggled short. Now, what happens this week with it? Don't know. Thomas Peters, that guy just moved up because I just kind of overlooked him Monday. I always like him. He's won me a ton of money in doubles and bets and stuff. I kind of like, he's 4 straight made cuts here. Not done anything great in the Open. His best finish had 2 top 30s at Carnoustie and Royal Troon, but 4 straight made cuts. I like him at 7,200. And then Sanjay. I mean, I just think the ultimate flop lag. Now it's a delayed flop lag. Well, actually, kind of could go double up flop lag on missed cut at the U.S. Open, which I thought I'd completely fade him. He's going to be super high owned, and he was, because he was just massively mispriced. He missed the cut, but so did a lot of my guys right there with him at +4. So I faded the guy. I think Tam and Kenny and I talked about before, like, just because that's what makes it PGA unique. Like, take MLB for instance. I pop in there and play that every once in a while, especially playoff. But if you're fading a pitcher, you can go load up on the bats, because your theory is, well, if he's not going to do good, then potentially the bats go off, right? Just because you fade Sungjae at U.S. Open didn't mean you were going to do well. I was a perfect example of that. Like, I had 0 of them anywhere. And, Mito misses it on the cut. Cam Young misses on the cut after a miraculous back 9. Finau bogeys to miss the cut. And those are 3 guys that are in my core pieces. So, and then he missed the cut last week at the Scottish. So, after 2 weeks off. So I don't mind going back to him. 8,300. He's probably going to be 6, 7, 8%. So he's moved up the board for me. Fade moved down. This is going to be weather dependent. So I wouldn't take too much into this, because if I see pockets, I certainly am not going to be a dummy and go, well, if all weather was, we assumed the same, I would probably be fading Xander. And I'd fade more to Kawa, but he's not going to be that high owned. He's going to be the lowest person up there. And I think right now he actually is in the potential of what could be a good draw. Let me look, or I say draw, but good pocket that at a guy I have no intentions of playing. If it, by tonight, they're like, man, that PM Thursday or whatever is horrendous. He's going out, fairly early, right there around Rory and all that, if I'm going to stack some pockets, I'm not saying I'm doing this yet. It's too early for me to do that, but I could see myself going to him. But if I'm saying all things are equal weather-wise, probably don't want Markel, probably don't want Alexander. And then Cam Smith and JT would be weather, more so Cam Smith, because he goes out. He's one of the first to go out tomorrow morning, their time. And I don't get a good feeling from him just listening. And, I try to take his anecdotal his conference, but he talked about some of the things that, could be unfair, unplayable, but you just got to roll with it. I may just hit driver all over the place because, and get in the rough, that kind of things. But he goes out so early, and maybe the ownership moves off of him. But then again, if the hype throughout the day and today, and I'll be driving later on, so I'll listen to all that kind of stuff. And he's going to be really boost him up because he is going off early. Maybe he is a good fade piece. And then JT, I just for as high as he could be owned, and especially he's right there on Rory and all those guys going out 9-10 o'clock local time in the morning. And if guys are pocketing guys, a lot of those guys, maybe you just put a player pool together, and these guys maybe where you try to zig where they zag, but it may be a good spot to bounce off of him and go somewhere else. Now, I would say this is why I say weather pending. If there is a clear type deal, like I don't mind fading Rom, even though it seems like a lot of people are. I don't think his ownership will be as low as what some are saying. Because I think Rom's a complete opposite side of the draw from JT. And so I may go, I just play JT in that spot and fade Rom, which I kind of was on Monday anyways. I was going to fade one of those two. I still probably stand by that. I'm going to fade one of those two. And so obviously I'm not trying to push you to be a premium member or anything like that. It's free. So if you just want to come listen to me and Kenny tonight, I go much more in depth on E9s, especially the majors with Kenny. So we'll get into that. And we're going to go as late as we can. That still makes it fair for you guys to listen and get stuff built, just so we can get the most, accurate information. I'll be gone the rest of the day, doing my stuff, my work, and then have all the rest of the content out probably right before we get closer to Kenny and I going on. Staying strong for me, probably Rory. Rory, Finau, and Lowry are three guys that I haven't really seen a way to come off of yet for any reason. Ownership will be there, but I'm going to be enough unique anywhere else that there's some guys I'm just going to own that's higher up there. You can't. There's no reason to fade everybody. The top of the top is there for a reason. You just got to find the different combinations and which ones you do want to fade. And those three I'm staying strong on. Leverage plays, these are really easy this week. 10K range is Morikawa, 9K range is Hovland, 8K range is Brooks and Bryson. You'll get all the leverage you want if you want to play those guys. Like I said, maybe Morikawa would be one I'm interested in if we start seeing a more clear weather draw, and then probably Brooks because he goes out super early Thursday. Maybe now that it's all over and it's behind him, he didn't have to do pressers this week. Maybe he just comes out there and does what he normally does. And Bryson, I'm not writing off either. I don't like his short game and all that kind of uniqueness, but he does go out early Thursday. And if you got both those guys at 2 or 3%, one thing I'll probably press tonight on E9 is one thing I've done in the last big few majors or even like bigger tournaments is I used to kind of go, well, I can get 3X over that guy and that guy and that guy. And then you come back and you're like, well, I really wasn't high on that guy. And it wasted 10 lineups here, 11 lineups there. And I'm talking like 150 max. So I tried to dial down those guys that I really want to get over the field on. Not that I do like those low on plays, but if you get too many of them and your pool starts widening, well, now you're taking away from potential. Let's say you like, let's say you love Finau. He's already going to be high owned 8,400. Well, I just love him. Let's just say I love him. Hypothetically, he's $100 cheaper than Brooks. If I'm going to go all in on Finau, and I'm not saying I am or not, I told you I'm strong on him, and I was iffy on Brooks or whatever, and you can use this with any kind of guy, I would rather add more lineups of Finau and say I got my leverage there, and if Brooks gets me, he got me. He's only going to be 3% anyways, but instead of like I used to, somewhat last year I caught myself, and early this year, like I'd say, all right, I'm 2X on Finau, so I got 35% of him, and now I'm going to go get 12% of Brooks because he's 3%, and that's just too low for him. Well, that's 49% between those two. I'm not saying I'd go 49% Finau, but I may go 40% Finau and then use that other leverage in my pool elsewhere. Now, if you like Brooks genuinely and he's low owned, like there's some low owned guys that I genuinely like Garcia, 3%. I just think he plays the Open well, and same mentality. Maybe he's past all the live stuff. He just wants to go out there and play. Then I'm going to use him in my pool, but I try to isolate that. Like, I don't think I'll get Brooks and Bryson in, and I lean Brooks for his game here more than I would Bryson right now. That's more of the stuff I go into in E9 with Kenny, but wanted to drop that there for a little bit. Underdog and Prize Picks, same link is in the description, same code GUP, get you dollar for dollar match up to $100. Underdog Best Ball Mania is up. We will start focusing on all that kind of stuff. It's in Slack all over the place. People are playing them. Once we get past the major and we start rolling into football season, the $10 million is already up. Best Ball Mania 3. The Thursday 3-putt, I've seen all kinds of guys have success there. It's a 10K pot. It's only $5 a lineup. You could throw 5 or 10 in and still be good to go because sometimes they don't even fill. My round one pick'ems, there's 3 of them. This pays 6X. Is Homa over 71, Hovland over 71, and then Reed over Bryson. So those 3 will pay 6X. Prize Picks, like I said, same link, same code, same dollar for dollar match up to $100. I like Woods over left. This is all round one only. Woods over lefty, birdie or better. Rory over Brooks, birdie or better. Scheffler over Henley, birdie or better. Meaning who gets the most birdies. It's self-explanatory when you're on the site. And then Homa over 70.5. Cam Smith under 11. Under 11 fairways hit, sorry. Just going off his pressure mainly. And he's kind of squirrely off the tee, but if he's like, I just may hit driver, all right, well, he's probably not going to hit that many fairways. So I'll take that under there. That's a 5-way play. Let's see if we can start out good like we did last week. I'll post those every night for the premium members with my updated nightly bets as well. One and done. I mean, this kind of, I don't remember how many weeks we got left. You're going to play your big guys. Hopefully, like I said last week, kind of play it out. If you got any of those guys up there, play them or figure out which ones you're going to play this week, maybe the FedEx Cup Championship, stuff like that. If you don't, or some of the other guys I like that maybe next tier down, Hatton, Finau could be, he normally gets used up by now. I think Reed, he could be a decent, it's maybe probably his last time he gets to play him according to everything now, or DJ, one of those two, maybe Brooks. Maybe you take a live guy and go, if you're like way out of it. Some of the one and dones have sections, some don't. I know the carbon contest, the fourth section just started last week. So if you're in that, make sure you don't just like take a dart because you're still live for the fourth segment in that one. But if you're in one that doesn't, and you want to take some flyers, those are ones I would look at. Winners right now for this one is, so $50 DFS money and a GC swag combo pack is Chris Roberts. And then 2 winners, each will get to select a PGA or Masters item. And they also get a GC swag combo pack, Jordan Thompson, and then Matty J Big Shack. So those 2, all 3 of y'all reach out to me. I'll get that stuff to you. Appreciate all the rate and reviews. If you haven't done it yet, go ahead and do it again. It'll still help me out this week, and it'll get you in for the big one once we go to the NFL. Use British, 30% off any package. 7-day risk-free trial included, so you get everything today for free, plus everything next week. Cancel anytime in that first 7 days, and you'll never see a charge. Hope you guys have a great day. I'll be back much, much later tonight. Looking forward to this week. I'm excited for it, and talk to you soon.